Well, no, I pointed that owning the crowd is not really what's important, and so if Apple wants the crown, then I think we'll leave them the crown. Okay.
What's important is maybe a few years from now, right? Who's the next $2 trillion company? And China has proved to be critical for the biggest companies in the world. Apple, in terms of the iPhone 11, how that sells here, not without its challenges, but Microsoft you guys have had a presence here for more than 2 decades now. Let me start with some of the latest news that we've spent a long time talking about over the weekend, over the last year and a half, actually, and that is certainly the trade war. And we seem to be inching closer to some kind of phase 1 deal. But beyond the tariffs and the endless negotiations, Alain, tech has certainly been at the heart of this trade war. IP rights and forced technology transfers. A year and a half later, we sat here last year. Has any progress been made on those fronts?
Well, the thing is, I think it had a lot of people talking, and when you read the press and you watch the news, I think a lot of people are talking about it. And when we look at Microsoft, we try to work on what we can control, and so we let a lot of people, I would say, work on this and talk about that. The one thing we do is to make sure that our business model and our mission really help our customers achieve what they are trying to achieve with technology. And this is what we are concentrating. In the past year or year and a half since this started, we have always been very committed to China in many aspects, for a lot of reasons. The first reason is that technology, is increasingly interconnected or interconnecting the countries. We don't own the globe. We don't own the planet. We share it. We share it with a lot of people. And so when you have a lot of companies, Chinese companies, who wants to do business abroad. And I heard you talk about ByteDance, but many others. We are here to provide them with the technology to do what they are supposed to do. And we do it with our ecosystem here in China, that we also take global, and we do the same for companies who are coming to China. This is our role. This is our role.
Is that interconnectivity under threat right now? There's a lot of talk, particularly here today and over the next few days, about a decoupling and the longer-term effects of the trade war. Where does that leave Microsoft, which, as you said, sits right in the middle as a facilitator?
We are a bridge. We believe that we are really helping the two countries, really getting to a point where I think things will never be the way they were. But there is nothing new there.
Why won't they be the way they were? What's changing?
Well, because the world is changing. If you go 5-10 years ago, you had very strong high tech from the US. And then for the past 5 years, maybe a little bit more, then you start to have some very strong Chinese companies coming. It's competition. And I think why it's never going to be the same? Because I think it's important for people who were leaders to really think how they work, to really think about their mission, to really think about their business model. And I think this is what Microsoft has done.